Hello, my friends. We are back with another e-learning portfolio review, and today we're looking at Hayley Steinberg's portfolio. She built it with Google Sites, and she was able to land a senior instructional design position at a Fortune 500 company with this very site. So let's check it out together. Alright, so again, this website was built with Google Sites, which is a completely free platform, and the only thing you need to pay for here is the custom domain. So I think you're about to be blown away when you see what Hayley was able to accomplish using this free and very simple tool. The site is actually not so simple. So here we are. This is the hero image. This is what we see right when we land on the page. And Hayley did a really good job with this because it draws us right in and it feels very immersive. Like we're kind of floating here in wonder. You know, we have some new ideas being generated. It's just a cool animated image over here on the right. And let me show you when I refresh this. So you see there's like a cool little entrance animation too. And Hayley says, I create immersive digital learning experiences and solutions. So she did a really good job reinforcing this immersive piece with this cool animation over here on the right. It feels like we're like in space or something, just like soaking up new ideas. So this is what I mean when I talk about a hero image that really draws us in. Hayley's doing a good job with this. It's not the most personal thing, right? Like I usually this is doing work for Hayley, and we have some good images of Hayley on her about page, which we'll get to a bit later. So if we scroll down, we have these two primary call to actions, my work and about me. I may suggest making one of these like a secondary call to action. So Hayley, maybe Hayley really wants us to dive right into the work, which generally is what people are coming to the portfolio website for. So maybe the about me could be, could have like a black stroke, but no fill. So it's kind of like an inverse of these colors. And, it wouldn't draw as much attention as the my work piece. And then again, with buttons, you could also start them with an action verb. So like view my work or learn about me. Maybe those buttons will be getting a bit long, but again, up here in the top right, we usually have just general links, but the buttons are usually start with an action verb, but not the end of the world. This is still very clear. I know exactly what I'm going to get when I go to one of these buttons. And you can see Hayley here is also incorporating social proof. So we have these logos, so it gives Hayley some credibility. I recognize American Express. I know Hayley's done some work with or for them, so it makes Hayley seem more credible in my eyes. You know, if I were a hiring manager or hiring an e-learning developer or instructional designer here. So nice work incorporating that suggestion here. It may be nice, I generally do recommend having a bit more on the homepage, since most people were kind of scrolling down to learn what the person does, who the person is, maybe see some of their work. So maybe even bringing in a little bit of a blurb about you onto the homepage and linking out to the full about page, and even showing off a few projects or even one, like your best project, having a little blurb about that on your homepage and having a call to action to explore that project, and then like an option beneath that to view all of the projects. Just to kind of give us more if all we wanted to do is scroll down this page and learn about you. But I think this definitely makes us intrigued and will leave us wanting to explore more to see what else is on this site. The last thing on this page is the footer. So Hayley is advertising here, are you looking for an e-learning developer? So it sounds like maybe Hayley is taking on some side projects or some freelance work. So we have this very clear call to action. If I am looking for an e-learning developer, I'm probably going to want to talk here. Now, I'm not sure what happened with this button. It may just be the breakpoint that I'm on. And again, because it's Google Sites, there's a limited amount of customization, but you just notice how this isn't really in alignment with this question here. So maybe if we had this moved down a bit so that it is perfectly center aligned vertically with this text, or we could even put the let's talk right beneath this question, are you looking for an e-learning developer? Having that strong center alignment here might look even better. So that would be good there. I'm not sure. Oh, I think when I hover over this, it's giving me an option to copy this. I'm not sure why, I'm not sure if this is a Google Sites thing, but we probably don't want to do this as someone just exploring the page. So maybe removing that functionality if that's possible on Google Sites. But this is looking good. So let's go to the portfolio, right? Let's see what projects Hayley developed here to help her get this really good traction in the market. So as soon as we go here, we have this really portfolio review. You know, Kath really incorporates these a lot and they look really good, right? We're showing an e-learning screen on a laptop and notebook. Like, we get some very smart, like, digital vibes here, which is exactly what we're going for on a portfolio. So we scroll down and we have 3 projects here. So really good number of projects to have. 3 is kind of like, you know, a good sweet spot, or a good minimum, I would say. If we have 3 really strong projects, you're probably going to be able to land some pretty good opportunities. So let's just check them all out in turn. So, and notice, before we dive into it, we are using the custom thumbnails. We're including the e-learning screenshots on real devices. In 2 cases, real devices that people are using. So we're showing people are using these e-learning experiences. These are real things. We're not just showing a simple screenshot. So I have a video about that, and you've probably heard me mention this in many of the portfolio reviews, so we're not going to spend too long on this. But let's check out this first project. Again, we have this nice full screen hero image, remote work readiness assessment. So if we scroll down here, we have an overview. So it's a short e-learning module to assess a person's readiness to work remotely. All right, it's mobile friendly as well. So we can see the client, professional development. So I'm not sure what client that would be. Generally with client, I'm thinking, you know, what kind of business is it? Who is paying you to make this? Responsibility is perfect. We know that Hayley did the ID work and the e-learning development. She used Chameleon Creator, which is a really cool tool. I have a project with this on my own site. It's kind of like a Rise competitor, but it makes like some really slick, really modern looking experiences, and we're about to experience that here for ourselves. So we see this is for employees working remotely. Okay, nice. Budget. If we don't have a budget for this, maybe we can just remove that piece. We see how long it took Hayley to complete this, about 2 weeks, and we know what year Hayley completed it in, so we kind of know, we can guess about how Hayley's skills have developed since the year she developed it. So just a couple of things about what we see here. Again, I don't think we need these little options to copy heading links. Again, I don't know if this is just a Google Sites thing, but we can probably try to remove that. The spacing between each of these, we can probably reduce that just a little bit. I don't know if we need so much spacing between these, but really not a big deal at all. Yeah, but I think overall this looks pretty good. We can maybe even lighten up this red piece even more, just so that it's very subtly different from the white, but these are really nitpicky things. And then again, we have this really strong white overlay here. I wonder if we can use an overlay here that's kind of the same color as this accent color that we're using throughout. You can see we have this really nice logo up here, a cool custom logo, and we're using that color. So maybe if instead of the white overlay, if we used this really light shade of this color as an overlay. Just ideas. Again, it looks nice and clean as it is. And here we go. We can view the demo here. So maybe view or experience the project. Maybe if this call to action said experience the project or view live demo or something like that. But view live, I feel like we're missed the project. So I opened that up in a new tab. And let's just check out the project. So look, this looks so good. And again, Chameleon Creator makes it kind of makes it easier for things to look good. Like, you should really check out this tool. I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. They do offer a free trial, but this looks so clean. So you can see it's just a web-based tool like this. And I see Hayley was showing off multiple different layouts and interaction types. So look at how clean this looks. Yeah, I mean, you may have heard me talk about this tool before, but it's nice that Hayley went ahead and developed a project in this tool for her portfolio. So feel free to check this out a bit more if you'd like, but we get the idea, and there's a quiz at the end, but really nice looking interactions here. So if we go back, we scroll down. When I experienced this for the first time, I was like, oh, is this like embedded? Like, can I actually interact with this? But we actually cannot. It's just kind of like a little carousel of different screenshots. So I would suggest maybe just having like a non-interactive slide like this as the first one. And just looking here, maybe if we left aligned that heading with this body text, these are nitpicky things. Overall, it looks really good. But again, this slide seems interactive. So maybe just having a content slide as the first one in the carousel, just so we know, okay, this is just a carousel of screenshots. This isn't something I should be interacting with here in the browser. So that would be a good touch. And then I just think there's an opportunity to talk more about Hayley's process here. So what was your design approach? Why did you create this project, right? Was it because you were noticing a need in the market? Did you just want to dive in and see if you can create something really nice with Chameleon Creator? Just, giving us a bit more insight into the process would be nice here. But overall, this is a really clean, nice little write-up and brings us right into the project so that we can experience it for ourselves. So solid project there. Let's check out the next one, which is a safe driving course. So here we are, we have that same overview. Notice that Hayley's using the repetition here, which is good. We do want to repeat these design elements, keep a nice consistent layout across these slides. And this one is a mock course for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. So we want to make sure we're driving safely. So Hayley uses slides, go template, and again, client. I would make that a little more clear, but nice. We have the responsibilities, and Hayley used iSpring, PowerPoint, and slides, go here. So, and again, same feedback. We can probably remove this. But check this out. I mean, it is a really cool project. So notice we don't have the option here to experience it for ourselves, but Hayley does include quite a few screenshots that give us a really good idea of what this experience would be like. So safe driving. So the only thing is these pictures are a little bit fuzzy, like a little bit blurry, and you'll notice later on they get more blurry. So this is on my 27-inch monitor. It may be different if you're on like a laptop or something, but I would suggest probably exporting these as high quality and as high of quality as possible, just so we can keep them really, really crisp. And then nitpicky things, this let's go text, we could probably move that down a few pixels just to keep it nice and balanced within this button, but I can't help myself with the nitpicky design feedback. This does look really good and cool. And you could probably even left align this to have that strong left line going with the heading, the subtitle here, and the button, all on this nice left line. But let's dive in here. So here we are, let me see. Let's go, and then the text switches to these little carrots. It does look really good. The graphics are consistent here. And I really like how Hayley makes this so interactive, and we can like personalize our experience in a way. So check out these slides. So we get to pick our vehicle. So, maybe this is just a way to gain attention, give us some control over the experience, but it's a bit more engaging to be able to make a selection than to just select a next button. So this is cool. So great, we're in our brand new vehicle. So now we have to program our learning path into the GPS. So this is just so creative. So what do we put into our learning path? And now we can choose what we learn about first. Do we talk about the basic safety features, the traffic laws, or the different types of distractions? So just notice, it's such a cool way, like, this is about car safety, and Hayley kind of, it's just a creative idea to make it where we're actually choosing a car, we're actually deciding where to drive. Like, it's very on theme, on brand, immerses us into this like driving topic and theme. So really cool examples of just little ways to give your audience more control over the experience, which in effect should make it a bit more engaging. And here is where it gets a lot blurrier. I don't know what happened here. Maybe the screen was smaller when we took this screenshot or something, but just making these screenshots a bit more crisp would be a nice touch here. But we can tell like these are some pretty sleek looking interactions. Nice little drop down list quiz. And here we go. There's a call to action to sign a pledge at the end here. So a really nice little project. Again, I would love to see more of a write-up about, just kind of talking us through your thought process for this and everything. Like maybe when we scroll down, we can see some of that. But clearly we get the idea just from looking at these screenshots. So really nice project there. And then again, notice at the end of every project, we're led into this footer, a direct call to action to contact Hayley if we're looking for an e-learning developer. So Nice flow there. And then finally, we can take a look at this final project. We'll just look at this one quickly. I noticed this one was built back in 2017 for, it looks like, a real client, North Valley Humane Society. And Hayley built a RISE course here to help, I believe, volunteers, right? To help volunteers get up to speed. Yeah, they wanted a way for volunteers to become familiar with the needs of animals after various surgeries, treatments, and behavioral training. So we have some screenshots in here. I think the screenshots kind of flow into your own, into Hayley's like write-up here. So I wonder if there's a way to either put this on a screen like this, or maybe even put a border around this, just something to kind of separate these screenshots from the content itself. But overall, it looks good, gives us an idea of what this experience looked like. I'm gonna get a little bit more of a write-up here, but maybe more of an opportunity to kind of talk about the design approach. But again, this gives us a bit more, and we do get a little bit of insight into Hayley's personality here, what Hayley's passionate about. Hayley says that she enjoyed this project because she loves animals, felt good about helping a nonprofit, and does give us a little bit of rationale. So this is nice. Even something like this is probably sufficient for letting us know what went into this project, why you care about it, how you came up with this idea, and all of the above. So good job on this, Hayley. Hopefully, and again, remember, this is all with Google Sites, so it looks so clean, crisp, sharp, like professional, but with a completely free website builder. So really cool. And then it looks like Hayley will be working on some more projects, so we can expect to see even more of these, maybe even by the time this video airs. But I imagine Hayley is busy with her new job, so maybe not. But let's see what other pages we have here. So if we go into the services, Hayley does list all of these different services. So I don't know how effective these are, again, because Hayley does seem to be positioning herself as an e-learning developer for freelance clients at this point with her site. But I see how this could be reassuring. Like, oh, does Hayley also do instructional design? Yes. Can she do voiceover? Yes, she can. So it doesn't hurt, and it does have nice, consistent graphics here. So it is just a nicely laid out page here. And then Hayley dives into her design process. So this is cool. So if we do want to get an idea about like what Hayley uses or what Hayley draws inspiration from to complete these projects, we do get a little bit of insight into that here. So this is cool. And then just, honesty, communication, creativity, just a nice little, maybe like these values or these things that are important to Hayley and that Hayley holds high when working with clients. So very cool, very cool. We will check out the About Me page now. This is where we get to see Hayley and maybe establish more of a connection because we can actually see Hayley's face. We kind of know whose website we're on now. And nice hierarchy here. So she, puts her name right here at the top, nice and bold. You want to know the name? I'm Hayley Steinberg, a freelance instructional designer and e-learning developer. All right. I specialize in creating immersive learning experiences on digital platforms. So very clear value proposition. We know what Hayley does. We know what her specialization is. And it's exciting. Yeah, she's really highlighting this like immersive learning experiences piece, which is, in high demand if you can actually deliver on this promise here. And this is where we get to learn a bit more about Hayley. Hayley's always loved all things tech, immersed in video games, enjoyed immersing herself in these digital universes, and enjoyed the experiences where she was learning. So really cool how we get to see a little bit into Hayley's background. It's very succinct, right? We're not reading Hayley's life story here, but we are seeing, okay, Hayley was passionate about this type of thing for a long time here. And we see Hayley does try to bring us into her projects. We have that hyperlinked, which I highly recommend that everyone do on your portfolio, right? We always want to drive people back into that work, and then hopefully from the work, from the projects they're seeing, they're impressed, and then they contact you with full-time or freelance opportunities. And then also Hayley lets us know a little bit about her credentials here. She has a master's degree, Scrum Master, certificate in adult education, and she approaches projects with an agile mindset. And we know that's so popular in the corporate space these days. So really cool. And then we even get a little tidbit like, I really love dogs. So of course there's an opportunity to have like more photos here just to kind of show more. But again, this isn't exactly like an Instagram page. So everyone has different, different things that they're comfortable with, how much they share on an about page like this. But overall, really solid about page. It has exactly what it needs to have, and it's effective and hopefully memorable. And hopefully we feel like we know Hayley a little bit better after reading through this. And we're not just looking at, you know, impersonal graphics like this. We actually do see the person behind the website. So that's always important. And then finally, the contact page. We have a cool like typewriter background. Maybe it feels less consistent with some of the other imagery, but maybe not. I see like the banners on these other pages are like photorealistic images. And then only on like the home page and on other places we have the illustrations like here. So I think these two are working together pretty nicely, but you can let us know what you think in the comments. And then finally, here we are on the contact page. So notice over here on LinkedIn, I think this is a screenshot. It looks very, very slightly blurry on my screen, but only this like really small text, but it is kind of cool. It's like a little card here. If we click it, it brings us over here to Hayley's LinkedIn profile. So that is a nice little hyperlink to have. And then look at how cool this type form is. So Hayley has, I don't know if this is a template or if Hayley designed this front page herself, but it is definitely more immersive than just a simple contact page. So I think this is really driving home that like immersive promise. Like it feels cool, right? Like it looks cool. It has like some personality, some style. It makes me want to press start and just dive right in here. And it's just a few simple questions. What's your name? What's your email? And how can Hayley help us? So this is where we describe our project and then we submit the form to Hayley. So again, and this is where this let's talk call to action brings us as well. So I don't know if there's an opportunity to embed something like this like in the footer. Like that would be pretty cool, I would think, if we kind of redid this footer and kind of built the form right into that. So then like every page, it brings us into this immersive get in touch type form. That might lead to some more responses. But again, it is only a single click away from any page that we are on. But this is really cool. So this is the whole page. Check it out. I'm sure Hayley would be happy to connect with you on LinkedIn if you would like to, you know, let her know how maybe this inspired you. I'm feeling inspired. Like it is really cool seeing what people are able to do with Google Sites because it is free, and I know that it is so limited in what you can change. So yeah, this site really cool. If you have a limited budget or you just want to use something that is really, really simple just to get a website up and running as you're working on your projects, check out Google Sites. The next portfolio review I'm going to do also is with Google Sites and is super, super impressive. So it's just really cool seeing how people are pushing the boundaries with these tools. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think about the site here in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.